Fine, Mike here, back with another video. Today we're going to be discussing the Roman Dolidze versus Anthony Hernandes matchup that's going to be happening in August this year in the Apex. I think this is a lot closer fight than people predict. A lot of people have Anthony Hernandes running away with a victory in this one, especially in the grappling. But I think that this is a really tough stylistic matchup for him. I think Roman Dolidze is a lot better than a lot of people think. And he's literally the worst style matchup for Anthony Hernandes. And here is why. Dolidze is definitely disrespected in terms of his skill set. He's a powerful big dude. He's got lots of skills on the ground. Not amazing on the feet, but he's still got a lot of pop in his shots, and he's an imposing figure. He's a huge guy for the middleweight division, and on the ground he's an absolute menace. There's not been a single person that's taken him down that's been safe or been secure in a position at all whilst on the ground with him. Hernandes at the moment is a really hot prospect. I think he's on 7 wins in a row with a bunch of finishes within those wins. But the one issue with this stylistic matchup for him is that he gets most of these wins by getting takedowns. And I think that Dolidze's all of his strengths almost come from you shooting in and actually being able to get guillotines and those sorts of front chokes as you're coming in. If you remember the Jack Hermansson fight, every time Hermansson would try to take him down, there was a guillotine waiting for him. And then when the guillotine didn't work, he would go for a sweep, a leg lock attempt, an armbar. And Dolidze would just put Jack Hermansson into a pretzel. And I think Hermansson and Hernandes have similar styles. I think Hernandes likes to work off the clinch a little bit more and work off the cage a little bit more. But I still think he's got a similar wrestling style when he goes for his takedowns as a guy like Jack Hermansson. Hernandes is a really good positional wrestler. And much like Hermansson, he doesn't usually get caught out in these sorts of positions. But a guy like Dolidze has just been able to prove time and time again, if you get him on the ground, he will put you in those positions. If you remember the fight against Hermansson as well, being able to get a calf slicer on Hermansson, then pound him out, is literally such an incredible finish for that. So, and that, all of these were from him getting taken down. So it's really impressive that he's able to work out of that and actually win those moments on the ground. And especially against an opponent like Hernandes, who wants to spend the most of the time during the fight on top. It's just going to be difficult for him having a guy like Dolidze who's just throwing up arm bars, throwing up an omoplata, going for a sweep. He's doing something the whole fight. The entire time he's not stopping when you're on the ground with him. There's no lull in the activity. Another thing about him is that Hernandes, if he really wanted to stylistically school Dolidze, it would have to be on the feet. And that's not necessarily his style. He's got decent boxing, he's got good kicks, but he's a bit like Bilal Muhammad, where although it all looks well and good and it does a little bit of damage, it's not the sort of shots that are going to finish Dolidze. And Dolidze's never been finished in his MMA career, so I think this is just going to be too difficult for him to actually hurt Dolidze and dissuade him, especially in this 5-round war, where I think Dolidze is just going to walk forward, throwing that right hook followed back with the back fist straight after. No worry in the world whether he's going to get KO'd or not. I think he's just going to be going straight out there looking for a finish on a guy like Hernandes, who actually gets hurt quite often. If you remember in the Brendan Allen last fight, he was getting tagged up by Brendan quite a lot. And a lot of his fights he's gotten hurt in. So a guy like Dolidze is just going to be looking for that chin, not worried that he's going to get taken down, because he knows that he can twist Hernandes up into a pretzel. So he's not going to be worried in this matchup. Anywhere that this fight goes, he's going to be comfortable. And the thing is that Hernandes likes to win via grinding you out. Yet that's just never happened to Dolidze, and that's not going to start happening now. I think Dolidze's fought some pretty good wrestlers, none like Hernandes, but he's just shown another level of activity on the ground that he's at least going to be able to get up and make space for himself. Hernandes, even though he's known with having this amazing cardio, he also does use a lot of effort getting these guys down. And it's almost like that Marab pace where you keep getting taken down, but you don't want to be there. So you're getting more tired, stressing about the moment of it. So Dolidze being a guy that works really well off his back, I think that this bodes really well for him in this matchup. I know that Dolidze is not the cleanest guy on the feet, but he's got more pop than Hernandes. Hernandes is not going to be able to deter Dolidze from just walking forward. He's got that warrior build that just does not stop. So I think this is going to be a really close stylistic matchup. I think that Dolidze is probably going to get a win over a decision. I could also see him getting a guillotine on him. I think this is going to be a much closer fight than people will say it. I think a lot of people will overrate Anthony Hernandes and say he's going to blow Dolidze out of the water. But stylistically, this is very difficult for a guy like Anthony Hernandes. And the submission issues that a guy like Roman Dolidze places upon Anthony. So it'll be really interesting to see this matchup. You'll see me make a video more or two on this one because I'm super confident. I'm looking at these styles and I just think that Dolidze has this. So I'll definitely be talking about this one again, but let me know what you think of that prediction. If you think that Hernandez is going to win, please tell me why in the comment section below. I'm not really sure why he is getting rated so highly in this matchup, just seeing on what the two fighters' strengths and weaknesses are. But cheers for watching the video, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Leave a like and a comment, and I hope you all stay safe. Peace.